Hi. In this session, we prove that the C in the set of complex numbers is a algebraically closed field. So a field is said to be algebraically closed if every polynomial with the coefficients in K has a root in K. That means to show C is algebraically closed, we need to show that any polynomial in C, X, or any polynomial over C has a root in C. So let us take one polynomial fx over C. Let tau be the automorphism of C given by the complex conjugation. That means tau of a plus ib is equal to a minus ib. So let tau of f of x is equal to fx bar. And suppose fx has no root in C, but the roots of fx bar are the conjugates of the roots of fx. Therefore, fx bar also has no root in C. So note that the coefficients of the polynomial fx into fx bar are invariant under complex conjugation. That means if we apply tau to fx into fx bar, tau fixes all the coefficients of fx into fx bar. That means the coefficients of the polynomial fx into fx bar belongs to the fixed field of tau. But the fixed field of tau is R, set of reals. Therefore, all coefficients of fx into fx bar are real. That means fx into fx bar is a polynomial over R. So, we have considered a polynomial fx over C, and then we can get a polynomial fx into fx bar over R. So, it is enough to show that fx has a root in C for any polynomial fx over Rx or fx over R. That means it is enough to show that a polynomial with real coefficients has a root in C. So let us take a polynomial fx in Rx be a polynomial of degree n. Our aim is what? To show that fx has a root in C. So this n, you can write it as 2 raised to k into m, where k greater than or equal to 0 and m is odd. That means all even factors, the factor of 2 are removed out and the rest of the things m will be odd. And this power of k can be 0 also. That means the n can be odd or even, whatever it is. So we can write n is equal to 2 raised to k into m. See, if fx has a root in R, then it has a root in C also, because R is a subset of C. So let us assume that fx is irreducible over R. That means fx has no root over R. So, but the characteristic of R is 0 and fx is irreducible implies that fx is a separable polynomial over R. Because we know that any irreducible polynomial over a characteristic 0 field is separable. So we prove that fx has a root in C by induction on K. Then what is this K? Where K is the power of 2 in n, occur in n, where n is the degree of the polynomial fx. So we are going to prove by induction on K that fx has a root in C. When k is equal to 0, the degree of the polynomial is equal to m, and that is an odd number. That means degree of fx is an odd. But a polynomial with a real coefficients of odd degree has a root in R. Therefore, fx has a root in R. Therefore, fx has a root in C. Therefore, when k is equal to 0, the result is true. So let us assume that k greater than or equal to 1. and fx is a polynomial of degree n. So let alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n be a roots of fx in some splitting field of fx. So let k is equal to the field generated by alpha 1, alpha 2, etc. alpha n and I over R. So k is the splitting field of the separable polynomial fx into h square plus 1 because fx is separable and h square plus 1 is also separable. And fx is irreducible over R. So k is the splitting field. Because k is the splitting field of separable polynomial implies k over R is a Galois extension. And k over R, the Galois extension contains C also. That means C is a subfield of k containing R. So we define for each t in R, we define a polynomial Pt of x is equal to the product of x minus alpha I plus alpha j plus t into alpha I alpha j. For all possible combinations of I and j with I less than j and I and j will lies between 1 and n. So you can see that if I take any sigma belongs to automorphism of k fixing R, then sigma moves alpha i's. That means sigma permutes alpha I and sigma fixes t. Therefore, any sigma belongs to Galois group of k over R is actually fixes the coefficients of Pt of x. Therefore, the coefficients of Pt of x are fixed by all sigma belongs to Galois group of k over R. That means that the coefficients of Pt of x are belongs to the fixed field of Galois group of k over R. And the fixed field of Galois group of k over R is R. Therefore, Pt of x is a polynomial with the coefficients R in R. That means Pt of x is a real polynomial. But what is the degree of the polynomial Pt of x? It's same as n into n minus 1 by 2 because it is the product of all possible combinations of with I less than j in between 1 and n. So there are n into n plus 1, n into n minus 1 by 2 combinations are there. So products are there. Therefore the degree of the polynomial Pt of x is equal to n into n minus 1 by 2. But n is equal to 2 raised to km and n minus 1 is 2 raised to km minus 1. 1, 2 and this 2 get cancelled. So it is 2 raised to k minus 1 into m into 2 raised to k m minus 1. And m into 2 raised to k m minus 1, m into 2 raised to k into m minus 1, we call it as m dash. Because k is greater than or equal to 1, 2 raised to km minus 1 is an odd number and m is also given as an odd number. Product of two odd number is an odd number, so this one is m dash is an odd number. So the degree of the polynomial Pt of x, and this polynomial is a polynomial over R, and the degree is 2 raised to k minus 1 into m dash, where m dash is an odd number, and this degree, the power of 2 is less than k. So therefore we can apply induction on Pt of x. Therefore by induction assumption, Pt of x has a root in C. That means that you know the roots of Pt of x are alpha I plus alpha j plus t into alpha j. These are the roots of Pt of x. So therefore for each t in R there exists I and j, where I and j are I is less than j and in between 1 and n, such that alpha I plus alpha j plus t into alpha I alpha j belongs to C. But there are many choices of t because it is true for any t belongs to R. Therefore there are many choices of t. So there are infinitely many choices of elements of C. But there are only finitely many choices of alpha i's and alpha j's. That means there are only finitely many choices of I and j and infinitely many choices of t. Therefore, for some I and j, we call I is 1 and j is 2, there exist two real numbers. They are distant such that alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus t into alpha 1 alpha 2 belongs to C, and alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus s into alpha 1 alpha 2 also belongs to C. So this is possible because there are infinitely many choices of t and there are only finitely many choices of I and j. And here, so there is some I and j with here we are taking I is 1 and j is 2, such that alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus t into alpha 1 alpha 2 and alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus s into alpha 1 alpha 2 are complex numbers with t not equal to s. Therefore their difference is what? T minus s into alpha 1 alpha 2. They are also belongs to C. So because t minus s is non-zero real number, alpha 1 alpha 2 is a complex number. Let us call that alpha 1 alpha 2 as b. That is, b is equal to alpha 1 alpha 2 is a complex number. Also, if I multiply with s and alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus t into alpha 1 alpha 2 is again a complex number. Or similarly, t into alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus s into alpha 1 alpha 2 is also a complex number. So what will be the difference of this one? So st will get cancelled. So you will get a t minus s into alpha 1 plus alpha 2 is a real complex number. So alpha 1 plus alpha 2 is a complex number because t minus s is not equal to 0. So let us call a is equal to alpha 1 plus alpha 2 as a. So a is a complex number. So a is equal to alpha 1 plus alpha 2 and b is equal to alpha 1 alpha 2. Both are complex numbers. Therefore x square minus ax plus b is a quadratic polynomial with the coefficients in C, and alpha 1 and alpha 2 are the roots of this polynomial. So, but we know that every element in C has a root in C, square root in C. So therefore, by the quadratic formula, alpha 1 alpha 2 is equal to a plus minus root of a square minus 4b by 2. And a square minus 4b is a complex number and a square root of a square minus 4b is again a complex number. Therefore, alpha 1 and alpha 2 are two complex numbers. That means alpha 1 alpha 2 belongs to C. Now since alpha 1 is a root of fh and alpha 1 is in C, that means that fh has a root in C. So thus we have proved that if fh is a polynomial in C, then fh has a root in C. Therefore, by definition, C is algebraically closed. In the next session, we discuss about cyclotomic field and cyclotomic polynomial. Thank you.